all, David here. You ever look at something and think, wow, there's just too much sex in this?
Rating systems! They kind of just sort of happen, like pennies in the couch. It's inevitable. It seems everything needs rated nowadays, from your video games all the way up to your television programs, with functions like the ESRB, the MPA, and the TV rating system. You know, you can't have little Timmy seeing too much ankle. But the reality is customers like knowing what they're gonna get before they buy it. I mean, you wouldn't expect fear to be in your carton of eggs, now would you?
It seems that every art form has to go through this at some point or another. Movies and television have constantly got more risque and more provocative, used for entertaining more mature audiences. And then a ratings board was created because, well, gotta think of the children. Same thing happened with video games. It became more realistic, more gory, more sexual.
Ain't nobody said you could say that stuff around here!
This led to creations of things like the ESRB and obviously the TV and movie rating board.
The reality is not everybody cares about violence. So, it's good to know what's in your movie before you get to watch it.
PG? Yeah, no thanks. This is too violent for me.
But what about comic books? Well, no surprise today, there are several different rating systems for comic books. My favorite seems to be the one on the back Among Us. Look, it's like I'm reading a video game.
But you see, it wasn't always like this. Back in the 40s and 50s, when comics were really picking up steam, parents were very worried that their kids were being taught violence. And so the company ACMP was formed to help regulate these comics. However, they didn't last very long. Yeah, being closed about 2 years later, comics just started printing their little stamp on it, regardless of what was inside the comic book, because no one else was going to do anything about it. But later on, there was congressional hearings basically saying, no, your comics are garbage. Fix it, butto. So to fix it, the Comics Code Authority was created, and it ruined everything. Yeah, basically this code was very strict, and basically nothing related to violence, sexuality, drug use, or even something as simple as the villain winning could be shown inside of this code. It made very kid-like and kid-friendly comic books. Overall, it was kind of a ridiculous code that basically only said, hey, our comics are for children, enjoy.
Nowadays, it's pretty safe to assume that government and regulatory bodies have figured out that people kind of like the mature things. They like being able to think. So, we're not going to be seeing too much more regulation just hammered home. At least, not yet. Sometimes these companies like the Comics Code Authority just take it a little bit over the top, and it's kind of fun to look back on and just understand why it happened. As for my eye, turns out it needs to be regulated more. I give it the rated PG-13.